Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We are in the Hidden Path, approaching the Temple of the Three. And we're just gonna take our time to clear this. Or get cleared by it. It's a tough fight in the end, the boss fight. It's, as I mentioned in the previous episode, I did go back and watch my previous fight. Was with an Arcanist, sure. Arcanist with only 3200 life, but doesn't take away that there was a decent chunk of damage being dealt to me. So we will definitely not have an easy time. That's what I'm trying to say. And that is good. I mean, if we could just breeze through all the content the game has to offer, then of course it would be no fun. If there's nothing to lose, then well, then things do get stale after a while. And playing with this much life and resistance and life regeneration definitely tilts difficulty a little bit towards the easier side of things. Of course, the trade-off is that our damage output is not overly stellar. We need to get hit a lot, and that's the whole theme of the build. So there's balance there. Safety and clear speed, they tend to be two things that you have to trade off between. Trying to pick this up, but there's just things in the way. Get out of the way, I want to pick this up. Yes, thank you. Hello, goodbye. An electrified bug. Who has a survivor instinct because he's running away from me. That's very wise. Or just good reflexive behavior. Now with bugs, you never know, right? You don't really expect them to have wisdom, just good instincts. And oh, a sanctuary blueprint. Not quite sure what a sanctuary is, but it sounds like a shield or something defensive. Let's see, 8% health, less physique requirements for armor, 20% PS resistance, 2% chance of 2 seconds of stun retaliation. So once in every 50 hits incoming you stun them, interesting. 100% chance when hit by a critical. Protective barrier forms around you whenever an enemy manages to find a weak spot in your defenses. It's a physical damage protection shield. And less stun duration for you, and it triggers once every 18 seconds. This is fairly interesting. It's not Guile. I mean, Guile really helps us be more aggressive, do damage. This is more of a slight defensive thing. As I mentioned before, our defensive ability is pretty darn high. So it's gonna take a rare mob to actually have a chance of critting us. So for us, our defenses are in such a way that Sanctuary is probably not going to be relevant all that often. Lag Blades of Valor. That's a level 40, so that's slightly higher than what we currently have. There's health, just defensive ability, physical resist, pierce resist, bleeding resist, and +2 to the Scars of Battle, which is a... one of these, isn't it? That's Scars of Battle. Extra armor, bleeding resistance, and reduction in stun and freeze duration on ourselves. So it's a defensive bonus. It's actually, it's worth considering. Let's put it in our final slot over here, and we keep moving forward. There we are. Ruin entrance. This is the Temple of the Three. level 50, 47, 49. So it seems we are just the right level here. The most important bit is of course always what's the level of the bosses gonna be. And just how much are they going to over level you. Yeah, I believe the general progression of the map went from bottom left to top right. So we're just gonna weave through in order to clear all the areas. Without too much backtracking, that is. I seem to remember there were a couple of intermediary fights. Some rooms that spawn some things. Made things generally more difficult to go through. And then afterwards we proceeded. Hello there. So a bug that rises out of the stones. Why not? Well, with this much acid going around, it burning away through the stones is not entirely out of the expected behavior. We keep getting a lot of reputation with homesteads. They really don't like these bugs. The runes fall silent. So, let's focus on the lore. We are not under attack here. The runes are extinguished one by one, and with each one gone, another of my informants falls to the calamity that has consumed the capital. The world crumbles around us, and the temple walls shake with outrage. The three are not pleased by the incursion. Twice now have I seen heralds thrown out of the attendant's chamber, their eye sockets hollow with eldritch flame. No, they are not pleased at all. Already I can hear scheming whispers amongst the servants of Salal, wondering if the time has come for us to dissolve the covenant and seek our own opportunities in this new reality we face. I dismiss this as the rationale of terrified fools. It is of no concern. The most vocal dissenters have already been offered at Salal's altar. The trolls of Drake are as cryptic as ever. Their mad ramblings speak of tides of blood shifting in a vast emptiness. They claw at their faces and tear out their hair. Their minds barely able to withstand the presence of their god, but it would take someone far wiser and more experienced than I to unravel the disturbing messages Dreek imparts upon his followers. My concerns are only with the weave. With our informants gone silent, we have become blinded to the outside world. The Lady Bismiol demands word from Erulon, but I have nothing to offer. I'm beginning to fear that it is my eyes the attendant will claim next. Some Bekarin Taurus, a servant of Bismiol. So, things are not entirely happy. Also, holy moly, that's a lot of damage. Ah, it's the poison of the ground. It's good to remember that it's not just the arcane, the ethereal damage that's very painful. Just enough damage over time, applied consistently, will bring any build to its knees. Even a build as tanky as ours. Okay, heal. Okay, very first room. Doesn't seem that there is anything of interest in here, even though it is only accessible by backtracking. So, I wonder what's up with this. Is there a secret thing that I'm overlooking, or... Sometimes the game does keep some of its secrets close, and they're not always as easy to unravel. Okay. Get a little spawn here. Very natural choke point here. It's just the one bridge with the couple of rooms up there, so it's easy to have a natural point to just double check that you have indeed cleared all the rooms that came before over there, before moving onwards. Here we have a little bit of a split. We can go off to the left and we can push forwards. Given that the split is eventually gonna go there, we'll take this first and we'll just keep weaving. And we'll use the power of
I can't do that yet.
Of experience in order to optimize our path through here. Not quite sure if playing through an area once before counts as experience, but it's a little bit of experience.
That skill's not ready.
So a lot of goop is being thrown at us. A lot of poison damage is being inflicted. We of course are fairly resistant to poison. And thanks to the Dryad, poison has a reduced duration effect on us, similarly to burning. So that if you have picked up the Dryad, then these passive bonuses, this passive bonus plus the bonus from the activated ability, they are gonna stack and they are gonna help you stay alive longer. So hello there, spiders.
That skill's not ready.
So we are kind of dragging in the mobs from the next room. I don't wanna go back here and clear this. But of course, if they insist on getting killed, we are way to stand in their way. Serrated spikes, those are useful. Usually you get them from wasps, things like that. Not a lot of different mobs that drop them. So getting them here is useful.
I can't do that yet.
Hello, spiders. Okay, so the thing I said last episode about just moving through, ignoring the little mobs. We're gonna do that here as well, especially because the rooms are packed together. The small mobs will follow us and they will eventually kill themselves by trying to attack us. If you focus on the stronger mobs, the weak ones will eventually perish. And that is yet another stack of loot. And this is a blocked path. There's a treasure chest over there, that's going to be rather useful to loot. Set small ones. Good ones. Let's see, do we take damage over time here? No, we don't. That's good. Of course, we'll go for heroic loot first, see if that summons anything more. Because for a heroic chest, this doesn't really look like a well-guarded room. Let's be really honest about that. I had expected a heroic enemy as well. Okay. Ah, they're guarding the lore.
I can't do
Jarlax, Rage of the Swamp, and Garn, the Pack Hunter. Okay, so this one is definitely, the defender seems weakest, that's interesting. Ah, I can pick it up. Okay. And now we just focus on this guy. Sustained focus works rather well. And that's yet another heroic down. Twice the moon has waned. The great eye weeps with tears of blood. The seas rage and the waters run red. The others had fallen silent, but yet the words remain, painted clear on the wall with gore. I study them, but their meanings elude me. I study them, yet I am no wiser. Tell me, great guardian, what truth escapes me? What does Dreeg desire of this frail form of flesh and bone? Your infinite gaze reaches out across the realm. It has seen the unseen. It has witnessed the green flame devour all. Its tendrils threaten our walls, our beliefs, our fates. Tell me, master of secrets, what must be done? The blood of the unwilling that I spilled in your name has run dry in my search for your voice. Have you too fallen silent to our pleas? The quiet is too quiet. The voices are gone. I must hear their chattering sermons once more, or I shall go mad. I must see beyond what I can see. If the gods will not come to me, then I shall seek them where they lay dreaming. Ukdar Klaas, servant of Dreeg. So we have had a Bismiel and we have had a Dreeg servant so far. That leaves us with a servant of Solal, doesn't it? So this is the final small room here. And nothing in there. And a corpse with loot. Always good. Okay, and we advance. Let's see, this seems like a longer bridge, so we'll... Oh, I was gonna say we'll skip it, but there's a couple of spiders in here. We wouldn't want to disappoint them, of course. No, but there's more rooms over here, so no efficiency, weaving and stuff. This seems like a better approach.
That skill's not ready.
Okay. And then there is nothing here. So we go back. That seems like a decent idea at the time. Practice it was not. Now, as you do this content more often, you'll eventually get familiar with the layouts and you'll know where to go, where not to go.
That skill's not ready.
Or you might be slow to pick up on it and you'll keep relearning the same lessons over and over again. Always just forgetting them before you need to apply them again. That's also very, very possible. Let's see. You are not my pet. I don't have pets, so why are you stalking me? For a moment I thought this would be the room with the final boss. Turns out it wasn't really. Just thought it would be. But walking through the center there did trigger a unique spider, or heroic spider rather. Don't really have uniques yet, I have heroics.
That skill's not ready.
To take a little bit of extra time to deal with the smaller mobs. So as you noticed, our life was going down a bit more aggressively than I liked. And add-ons, they by themselves they're not that strong, but if there's enough of them, their combined might is gonna hurt a lot. Right, let's stick to this side for now then. There's a number of rooms here. Well, turns out there was nothing really in the rooms. But there was a small strongbox hidden here. Okay, we'll just charge on to the next room. The mobs are gonna follow us. Whatever is left of them, that is. There's a little bit of content over there, I suppose. Let's double check. Could be that it is indeed just a staircase. Then, okay, there's a couple of mobs, they will follow us. Breakable wall, metal strongbox, and some life drinkers. Who don't seem overly aggressive. Or, yeah, they're just casually breathing lightning, not looking overly threatening. That works. Just don't pay attention to me while I'm trying to kill you. Really, I'm not a threat. Really. Could work as a strategy. I fell for it. Another secret area with more loot. Always good. The sheer amount of yellow items that keep dropping. It's gonna turn into a nice amount of gold or iron bits. Sorry, there's no gold in this game, there's only iron bits. And there's the portcullis for the final fight. And there is... that's the only way. So, our fight with the attendant, I think? The sentinel. Let's see how tankable the damage is. What's gonna hurt, what's not gonna hurt. Okay. Okay, this is doing pretty heavy damage. Okay, let's Overguard, push the regen a little bit. So having a life pool of 9000 life definitely makes this a slightly more relaxed fight.
I can't do that yet.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on. You can't really do much with these stones. There's some a pretty nasty burning effect that's going on here. He definitely inflicts a lot of damage over time, as well as pretty decent attacks that he does that do fair chunks of damage by themselves. If you're trying to do this with, say, 3000 or 4000 points of life, then I would be dead now. But of course, having a bit more life than that means we can sustain a bit more and we can react a bit better. We can actually afford to react slower to certain things and still not die instantly.
That skill's not ready.
It does pay off to keep Overguard up here, because he just does a pretty brutal amount of damage. So, if you're in a similarly tanky position,
that skill's not ready.
Overguard helps. And one of the nice things of having a build that has a large life pool, decent sustains, and at least one skill that you can actively trigger in order to regenerate your life is that you are not very likely to use your life flasks all that often, which means you always have an instant, reasonably strong life regeneration effect that you can trigger as a sheer panic button.
I can't do that yet.
Or as a, well, it's not strictly panic, but it's gonna be useful nonetheless as from a very defensive point of view. Like now.
Can't do that yet.
Nope, I was down to 4000 life. Overguard was already active. Life was still not going up as strongly as I would have liked. That's a good point to actually trigger a flask, just to stay on the safe side. Ooh, Overguard, it should be back up. Keep in mind, this is a level 53
That
fellow.
skill's not ready.
We are only 47, so he's 6 levels above us. And, well, those meteors, they hurt a fair bit. Oh, there's bleeding, there's burning, there's presumably poison, some eldritch stuff maybe. This guy really just likes to throw everything and the kitchen sink at you. But eventually he will fall. Because time is on our side and not on his. Not by a long shot. Ooh, interesting. 15% chance of 900 poison retaliation. All the other mods are rubbish, but poison retaliation is a fun thing to get. Health, defensive, armor, fire resist, bleed resist. Ooh, I like this one. There's no movement speed on this, but I like this one. You go into the final one. Oh, that was the Sentinel. I think we did rather well. So let's have a look. Oh. Poor positioning on just add-on trash mobs. It's always so. I don't know, such an anticlimactic thing. Heroic chest, that's gonna be nice to loot. Would have been nice to get a blue, maybe, yeah, would have been nice. Acting a little bit spoiled here, but it would have been nice to get some blue items. And they actually did well. They put a guard in the treasure chest, or in the secret loot room. Let's have a chat. Get our skill point, I think. The attendant. He is a little stuck there. You carry the markings of the tree, Seeker. Long has it been since one such as you has travelled these halls. Greetings, I am the attendant to the gods. Okay, I've come to learn of the witch gods. You're wise to seek them out. Only through the tree can we peer into the eldritch realm and learn its secrets. It is a place of terrible power, rivaling even the ether the arcanists so cherish. But we cannot simply go there. Through immense sacrifice, the witch gods pierced the veil between worlds and ascended to the eldritch realm. Through their teachings, we can harness a mere fragment of its power, summon eldritch beings to serve us, and rise above the falsehoods imposed upon us by the fallen empire. So how do I learn of the three? That is an honor few can rightfully claim, but your dedication to seeking them out will not go unnoticed. I have witnessed the power of the eldritch realm, and many of its secrets have been revealed to me. Through the tree, I can bestow upon you a gift from the eldritch realm, insight into the larger truths. I am ready to receive the gift. And we gain a skill point. Witness the power of the eldritch realm and weep at its glory. This will prove useful. Thank you. And we'll pick up a little bit more loot here. And that gets us another skill point, and that gets us closer to what we want. And then we can portal out, return ourselves to Fort Icon, have a chat with Anasteria, give her the Fang, because of course that wraps up the East Marsh content that we started last episode and finished now with the Temple of the Three. Have you slain the spawn of Bernath? Yes, it is dead. Black Legion likes us less, Outcasts like us more, and we get another quest. Go to the archives of the Untold, which are in the Steps of Torment. So we have one skeleton key. She's going to give us a quest to go. She actually just gave us a quest to go to the archives of the Untold, which will take us to the Steps of Torment. After that, there is another quest for the Bastion of Chaos. Thing is, Bastion of Chaos and the Steps of Torment are both pretty high challenge level dungeons. It's nice to do. I've already done them before with other characters. Maybe it's better to also push towards Epic. So we just closed up a large part of the added content to the game. There is still a devotion shrine to be grabbed at the entrance to the Bastion of Chaos, not inside of the actual dungeon, but next to it. So we still need to do that one. Once we get enough reputation with the rovers, there is a shrine for them. So I think for now we are gonna move onwards to Epic difficulty. We're gonna leave this quest as it is. Gonna go to Epic, complete Act 1, maybe Act 2. And once we hit enough reputation with the rovers, we need to go back here for this shrine here. And that's gonna send us into a couple of void areas to retrieve some objects. I think that would be a nice tie-in with going to the Bastion of Chaos in order to get a devotion shrine there. So in a near future, we're going to dedicate an episode to going back to Veteran. But for now, I think this was the final episode for a Veteran mode. And next episode is going to be the beginning of our journey into Epic. So, as always, I'm going to thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.